Hello, my darlings. My name is Victoria, and this is Veritas Tarot. I'm going to do your daily mini reading, but as it's Lionsgate, we're going to be doing a Lionsgate reading for you this evening or today, wherever you are in the world. Lionsgate is an amazing portal for manifestation, and this is an opportunity for you to connect, to release, to understand, transform, and manifest. So I'm going to, in honor of the lion, use my Divine Animals Oracle for this. And if needs be, I will pull a little bit of my animal tarot as well. And let's see what wants to come out for you. If the reading resonates, my darling, it is a message for you in divine timing. So let's see what wants to come out. So what we're going to look at, first of all, with these cards is what is... in terms of what's looking to be released at the moment, what is it that Spirit is guiding you to kind of let go of at this time? We are energy, and when we carry around a connecting energy to something or somebody else, or we're held back because of that, or we're finding life difficult because of a low vibration, we are guided, we are given experiences to help us to release that. So what has come out for you at this time? You've got horse freedom. And look, you've almost got like a sort of a portal here as well. So what Spirit wants you to do at this time, what's looking to be released, is an attachment to something, because it's not giving you that sort of beautiful, free-flowing spiritual movement forward. This is your true independence, and it's always your choice to make, my darling, always your choice to make. So there is within you such a power, such a source of power and wisdom and understanding for everything, because source energy is you. Source energy is who you truly are. It's the essence of who you truly are. And when we forget that, which is very easy to do in our everyday lives and everything that's happening around us, we get lost, don't we? We get lost, and it's about refinding ourselves. Alan Watts always says that the universe through us is having a game of hide and seek. It's about being lost and being found. And we can get lost in everyday life, but it is just that little reminder for you today that you are the universe experiencing itself. And that true independence is allowing you that moment of just clarity, that this is who you are, the essence of who you are. You're not this identity and this personality. That is part of the fabric of life, yes, but there is something much, much deeper than that, and it's your essence. And when you can step into that essence and embrace that essence about who you are, in that moment of doing that, it gives you that sense of peace, relief, independence, and also an independence, how do I say this, Spirit? Independence of attachments that you have, and just even for a fleeting moment, that can make all of the difference. Because true independence, when you can harness that true independence and understand that you're not dependent on anybody or anything for your happiness, just yourself, my darling, just yourself, but that's your choice to make. So true independence, and it's about trusting who you are. When we always talk about trusting ourselves, don't we? Well, what do we mean when we say trusting ourselves? Trusting ourselves is trusting ourself. What is ourself? Ourself is source energy. It's the essence of who we are. Think about yourself, myself, with the word self as a capital letters, S-E-L-F. That is who you are. The essence of you is self. Life itself, experiencing itself, that is you right now. But this is your choice to make, and Spirit wants you to harness that power within you and feel free to make choices. This is the freedom, isn't it? Feeling free to make choices that are right for you, that feel right for you, that bring you a sense of relief, that bring you a sense of peace, that make you want to gallop forward, that make you want to jump with joy. All of these things. It is your choice. It is your choice what you choose to do. You can choose at any given moment to transform yourself. You can choose at any given moment to look at where you are right now, which is really important in terms of manifestations, and to be in a sense of gratitude for everything that you do have, big and small, however tiny it might appear to you. Give thanks for it, because gratitude is the fastest form of creating more manifestations for yourself. Don't discount the smallest things. Look at that word discount. Don't discount it. Add them all up, multiply them. You know, multiplications of things just bring more and more and more. Surround yourself, envelop yourself in a feeling of gratitude for all of the things that you have in your life, but also all of the choices that you can make for yourself. If you choose to have the freedom to choose. So that is what Spirit is asking you to kind of release yourself from the feeling that you can't make a choice for your life. You can make a choice. You are making choices in each and every given moment of your life about everything about your life. And even though you may not see it as a verbal choice or a solid intention that you're setting out there, you're making choices by the vibration that you're giving out. You're making choices by what you are emitting energetically. We are energy. Remember, energy and emotion is emotion. So if you are emitting emotion, a lower vibration of that you don't feel you can do this, or you don't feel you deserve it, or you don't believe it can happen, then you are surrounding yourself by a wall of imposed resistance from what the universe is trying to bring you. You are the universe, so co-create with it. And one of the things that the biggest thing for that is aside from gratitude, alongside gratitude, not just aside, but alongside gratitude, just as importantly, is faith. Faith that everything will work out just as it's intended for you. Faith that your manifestations have been answered. Faith that you will trust in the divine timing of it. Faith that you will go with the ease and flow of this. So a beautiful card here for what needs to be released for you at this time that's kind of holding you back, because this is a very beautiful, it's not even just a horse here, this is a unicorn. So this is about believing in miracles, believing in the magic. You are the magic. Your trust and faith and knowing is the key to the magic ingredient. It's the Aladdin's lamp for you. So for a moment, for as many moments as you can, because those moments of trust and faith and belief are so much more powerful than anything negative that you might feel about this. Allow yourself to believe. Go back to being the child and believing in fairy tales and believing in unicorns, believing in the magic. It exists, my darling, but it needs your faith and trust in it, in itself, yourself, same thing, in life itself, for this to happen for you. So that's the first card. Then we're going to be looking at what this is teaching you at this time, this Lionsgate portal. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. I hope you've all had a beautiful day. It's been another very beautiful day here in England. Too many cards, please. Thank you, Spirit. Just one card, please. There we go. What have we got here? Ritual. This is an interesting card. I haven't had this one before. The Bison. So there are certain things that Spirit, this is what it's trying to teach you at this moment in time. What I'm seeing with this card here is, do you see here with the hunter and the bison, there is things that we have been taught over generation and generation and generation and generation about certain ways of doing things. Things that we believe are normal, things that we believe are abnormal. But there are certain, so interesting, because at the moment Spirit's given me this card. I'm listening to the sort of whole sagas of the clan of the cave bear and the mammoth hunters and the valley of the horses. So this is really rather lovely. Spirit is, this is what this time is teaching you, is asking you to respect, appreciate, have gratitude for those rituals, those spiritual, authentic you want to call them rituals or practices that you do. Have faith in those at this time. You see here with the bison and, you know, the hunter here, there was respect. There was a need to hunt for food, but equally no more was also taken than what was needed. And that is very representative of what the animal kingdom do, and also the plant kingdom do. They only kill or hunt themselves when, or animals kill each other when they need. It's that source of energy at that time for them. So this is, again, a teaching about what is needed for you at this time, as opposed to an excess of as well. What is it that you realize is important for you in your life right now? And it is also about that deeply, I'm getting the word resonant being, spiritual essence of you that is much more prevalent, thank you, Spirit, when you are in a state and a place of your spiritual practices, and you understand that. So there isn't a rush here. It's about a beautiful planning. It's about a beautiful understanding about the time to, as this hunter knows, the time to hunt, but also about the respect for what is there for you, but also the delicate balance of what is coming in for you, as opposed to what you may want, which is in excess of what is needed at this time. Thank you, Spirit. So, and this ritual as well, mind, body, spirit ritual, is also talking to me about you doing, is teaching at this time to do what feels right for you. I do apologize. Hang on and watch just 1 second. My little dog wants to add that. To also do at this time what feels right for you, what nourishes your soul. You know, when the hunters went to hunt, they did certain rituals that were understood, that had a sort of DNA vibrational impact on them. They understood. I know that there's in certain histories, and I feel still today, you know, in certain areas of the world, there is so much respect for the animal that unless the animal gives the sense that it is ready to be killed, then the hunters will leave it alone. So I'm sure I'm not saying that right, but I read something beautiful about that, and I think it was in Native America. And so what I'm trying to say is that there is certain things that are done as part of rituals that feel good. They feel good for the soul. It feels right. You're not being felt like you're being led to do something that you don't want to do, or that doesn't give you a sense of peace and relief. So what Spirit is saying is, live your life. This is teaching you this time to live your life authentically. And when we live authentically, we're living as Spirit. And live your life as you wish and you choose to do, with and nourish yourself with those rituals, those things, those habits that you do that bring you peace, that bring you nourishment for the soul. This is what I'm getting for this with this card. So that is what this time is teaching you. Now we're going to look at how are you being supported at the moment, spiritually, through soul family, through your guides, about moving forward at this time during the portal. Thank you, Spirit. Purpose, beautiful card just popped out there. So, and we have the sharks. So the first word I'm getting is misunderstood. Sometimes I feel that sharks are very, and people say that they are very misunderstood, and people are becoming more and more aware now of sharks, and actually there isn't so much a fear attached to them now. So the thing about the shark, and you can see here with whether this is a mermaid swimming, let me just have a look at this card. Again, comes back to only taking what you need. And so the shark is an extraordinary animal. It has a radar light sensor as well. It can be alone, or it can also travel within a family. But the shark is known as the peaceful warrior. So this is what you're being supported at this time, to be that peaceful warrior, to go, to venture out of what is boundaries that you've set yourself, to be independent, to understand the interdependence of relationships and experiences around you, that they are teaching you things that you didn't know about yourself, wonderful things that you didn't know about yourself. But in order to extend, to expand on yourself, on your understanding of your remembering about who you are, the universe itself, experiencing itself, to expand your energetic boundaries, you are being asked to push beyond those boundaries at this time. And this is what you're getting support for. You are, and a peaceful warrior for me is somebody who is very determined, very insightful, knows what he or she wants to do. And it tends to be, when somebody is like that, it is because it is for the good of all. Because it is your soul's destiny. And when it's your soul's destiny, when it's your soul's path, your soul's choice, you will receive the support that you need every single step of the way. But just like the shark, my darling, what you're being supported at the moment is about redirecting your focus at this time. The shark very much focuses on what its target is, and it uses all sorts of wonderful tools to create the space for that hunt. So there is a huge amount of power, and I talk about this, the momentum of power, when we focus forward. We can't change the past. And why should we? Because the past was meant to happen. Everything is meant to have happened, is meant to have happened to teach us something, to help us release something. So where you are right now is in a beautiful, beautiful moment, being supported by spirit, about to move forward on a great adventure. But you are protected in what spirit is saying can be perceived as a sort of a difficult terrain. Shark eats shark. And I just saw something the other day, was it about the killer whales killing a great white? So you are being protected at this time, and that is what you're being supported about. But as a peaceful warrior, I feel, I come back to this, that you are there, and I don't know what this is for you, but it's something to do with being a teacher, a healer, a helper, in whatever form your soul's purpose is. So I do feel, as it's Lionsgate, I am going to pull a couple of the animal tarot cards for you. So let's see what wants to come out. In fact, let's just move these cards out of the way. I might come round to read it. Actually, you know what? I am going to read this card. This is on the bottom of the deck. And I tell you why I'm going to read it. It's number 44 and 4 and 4, 8 and 8, 88. You've got Truth. The jackal has come out for you on the bottom of the deck. And this card, of course, with freedom of the horse, the ritual with the bison, and the purpose of the shark, is all about your authentic truth, my darling. It's the jackal, the two faces of the jackal. Live your life fearlessly, my darling. Don't let fear stop you from doing things that is your intention to do. You know, don't fear also, sweetheart, what you can't control, because what you can't control is the universe working on your behalf. It's only because your identity and personality says, well, because I can't control it, I don't know what's going to happen. But that's your trust, that's your faith. This is your universe. This is you experiencing life as life itself. And so everything around you, as I said, don't discount things. Don't discount timings on things, tiny little things that make up the fabric of your life. Everything is beautifully, delicately balanced for what is coming in for you, everything that's happened in the past. And so don't fear what you can't control, embrace it. There is huge possibilities in the great unknown. There are only possibilities in the great unknown. They could be possibilities for learning, they could be possibilities of failure, but failure is an opportunity to grow in order to be ready for whatever the next stage in your life is after that. And, you know, it's better sometimes to know and appreciate the truth when it comes in at exactly the right time for you. So don't fear knowing the truth as well. Embrace it when it is given to you, because it is always given to you in exactly the right time for you. So let me now, those are those cards I've put aside over there. I can hear my little nut talking outside. So I'm just going to ignore her for a minute. Freedom, horse. Let's have a look at this for you. So this was about the releasing card for you. Thank you, Spirit. What wants to come out? So 7 of spring, which is 7 of wands, and 2 of autumn. I do hear it. Just bear with me one. Sorry about that. I was hearing her crying, and she knows that we don't really like her barking a lot. So she cries and I can't bear it. So I've just got my son to bring her in. So this is about you releasing. This was this freedom card, you remember, with the horse. So this was about your independence, about you making choices. And you've got the 7 of spring, which is the 7 of wands, and you have the 2 of autumn, which is the 2 of pentacles. So I'm going to talk about the 2 of pentacles first of all. The 2 of pentacles is the card of feeling you're slightly overwhelmed with things, feeling that you are slightly overwhelmed with choices at the moment, not quite sure about what to do or how to do something. And it's got you all sort of tangled up here. And when I see this ball of string, it reminds me of a lovely sort of spiritual analogy that they told me, that when you feel that's all tangled up, you can't get to the essence of that ball, but I'll come on to that in a second. But you can't get to that until you start unraveling things. And so this is a moment for you to start to look at things individually. It's a little bit like, I call it, when you have too many tabs open on your computer, and I'm looking at all of mine now. And there is, because of that, the possibility that your computer starts to slow down, it starts to buffer, it can't cope. So Spirit is saying that you have too much in your mind at the moment. You need a reset button on your mind at this time. And it's almost like, thank you, Spirit, you need to remind yourself that this doesn't have to be this self. Isn't that interesting? The word remind is remind. It is detaching and looking at this, and it's almost like you have too much for one person to deal with at this time. So what do we do when we do that? We ask for help. So maybe that is something that you haven't been able to do in the past, feeling that you can ask for help. And that is also about receiving, because sometimes people feel guilty about asking for help. But don't feel guilty, because if you're feeling that you are overwhelmed, there is something that is happening for you at this time, which is guiding you and nudging you to reach out, to ask for help, and to look to balance what is, it's that word temperance, to do in moderation. If you find that you are doing one area of your life more than others, look for ways that you can look to balance it out. And one of the most important things, and I've got that word ritual, is that sort of what you're learning at this time, is perhaps to actually give yourself 10, 15, 20 minutes a day of sitting in stillness, of doing whatever it is that it feels right for you, because that is shifting you energetically. Within that shift, then you're getting the insights, then you're getting the ideas about how you can help yourself at this time with the choices that you are making. And then you've got the 7 of wands here. So the 7 of wands for me is it's an interesting card, because it's a card of being, I think you felt like you've sort of been in the shadows a little bit here with this gecko. You're very committed to what it is that you're doing, but you kind of feel like you've hit a brick wall, and that's just quite an interesting image that's there at this time. But you're also very comfortable in this space. And I think that Spirit is trying to push you out of this comfort zone at this time. That's why you've got this purpose with the shark card as well. It's where the support is coming in. But I think there is a lack of self-belief, and this is what Spirit is saying. There is a lack of self-belief at this time, and I think you're worried about what other people may think of the decisions or the choices that you're making at this time. And this is where it's very, very important that when you live your life authentically, when you live your life with an assertiveness that comes from an understanding of who you are, and also a respect for what you are feeling. So you are respecting your inner guidance system because you're listening to your feelings, and that's how the universe talks to you, first and foremost through your feelings, my darling. And so only you know what those feelings are. And that's why in that ritual space, you are beginning to get in touch with those feelings and beginning to prod them and feel them. And because of that, you're beginning to understand what is happening energetically for you at this time. So Spirit is saying, please do not be concerned about what other people's thoughts and opinions are. Remember, that is coming from their lens of life. And it may be very, very, very different to yours, but you and only you have a direct perception of your life and of your soul's journey at this time. And it's asking you at this moment in time, Spirit is asking you to absolutely trust your inner guidance system, trust your soul, trust your intuition, whatever you want to call it, trust that essence within you that's guiding you forward at this time. And don't feel the need to defend yourself. You can explain if you wish to explain, but don't do it from a defensive nature. Do it from a standing in a place of truth and standing in a place of empowerment. And in that space, you will, if you wish to deliver some wonderful enlightenment to people, you will do it from that beautiful place of unconditional love. You won't feel the need. It won't be an ego fighting ego situation. So that is what you're being asked, the freedom for you to choose whatever is authentically right for you at this time. And that freedom to choose is what Spirit is asking you to harness at this time. Beautiful, beautiful 3 cards there for you. So let's look at this ritual card with the bison. And these rituals, they take time as well. They're not rushed. So don't expect things to come in suddenly and quickly in your timing. Let Spirit bring it in when it's perfect for you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. The bison card. I know this is longer than a normal daily, but it isn't a normal day, is it? So what have we got here for you? The 9 of winter, the 9 of swords. Okay. You've got lovely sea lion here sitting on this rock. So the 9 of swords, as we know, swords are air energy. And you've also got water here as well, which is interesting. So swords are a reminder whenever we see the swords, any swords card, to observe, to breathe, to focus, and to make a choice or a decision from a place of taking responsibility for yourself. Interesting expression. Again, I'm sure you've heard me mention this, but I've just put it together. Taking responsibility for yourself. For yourself, I've talked about self in capital letters. For you as life itself experiencing itself. For the universe itself. And taking responsibility is not reacting to things, but taking a considered response based on a period of time where you have observed and breathed and focused. And that is the ritual that you're doing at this time. You are safe and protected despite these stormy seas here. The sea lion is there, safe on this safe space. So when you're in that period of doing your spiritual practices, your spiritual rituals, you are completely protected and completely safe in that space. And actually, it's a reminder that your fears are your ego's imagination. They're not your soul's creative expression. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Your fears are your ego's imagination. They're not your soul's creative expression. Your fears are things that have not happened yet, that you are projecting out into the future. And fears are, they're a liar. They're a liar, my darling, but they're real. They're a liar, but they're real, but they're there to teach us something. So when you are in that space of feeling fear about something, you're being asked to go deeper than the surface level fear itself. You're being asked to look at what is truly causing that fear, the deepest motivation behind it, because confusion lies when we don't appreciate what our deepest motivations are for certain things happening or for achieving certain things. And Spirit says within this Nine of Swords space is, of course, that when we get caught up in our fears, fear creates fear. Fear creates fearful outcomes. So the freedom of moving forward with an ease and a flow, that like that unicorn, is replaced by a resistance and an oppressive, darker energy that stops the movement going forward. It stops it, but actually, even one little drop of faith is so much more powerful than an ocean of fear. So when you can instill within those fearful moments your spiritual practices and sit in a place of peace and observance and retreat, that is making this massive shift for you. This is what this is teaching you at this time. So Spirit is asking you to, within those spaces, keep letting go of the fear, respect it, look to see what it's teaching you, and then let go of it. This is what's happening at this time, and that everything will be okay. So that is the Nine of Swords. I do want you to look up the sea lion. Oh, I'm being so silly, the sea lion. They've given us the sea lion, haven't they? But I would like you to look up the sea lion. But this is Lionsgate, and this is the sea lion. So and thank you. And with the sea and the lion together, there is a big message here for me to give to you, that it is a reminder that we are life itself, and that we are a drop to the ocean, just as we are that drop to the ocean of the universe. We are one and the same. But with the water here, this is teaching you to let go, but also to cry those tears that need to be cried, the soul must weep, to do that cleansing within the rituals that you're doing, whatever it is that you are releasing at this time, and to trust that with each and every time there is shifts. And I know that you feel those different shifts every day. There are shifts happening every single day. Prod yourself, feel when there's just that slight, it's almost like a little whisper of a dream, isn't it? Where you can just feel a slight little energy shift that's happening, and give yourself a clap on the back, just like a sea lion will give itself a clap. Give yourself a clap. Spirit's been quite funny today. Give yourself a clap and say, well done, because you're more than a survivor, you're thriving. And a sea lion thrives in, this sort of space here. The sea lion thrives. It's not afraid. Don't be afraid to dive into your emotions. Don't be afraid to embrace them all. This too shall pass. You're never given more than you can handle. And just like the waves of emotion, waves of the sea, the waves of emotion will happen with you. And when you're in that really kind of sticky bit, trust that something really, a nugget of truth is coming out for you within that space, if you will allow it. And then you will have a release period as well. So this is your sea lion reading. And I think that's really lovely. Thank you, Spirit. And I'm sorry I didn't pick up on that before. But I wasn't meant to. So now let's look at what you're being supported. And this is your purpose as the shark. Thank you. Now, I've got 3 cards want to come out. Can I have just one card, Spirit? Thank you. I did see life experience. Thank you. 1 card, please. Thank you. So, bottom of the deck, this is what you're being supported. The Queen of Swords. So you're going, you've got the 8 of Cups, the 8 of Winter, the 8 of Cups, the 8 of Winter, which is the 8 of Swords, and then to the Queen of Swords as the overriding energy. I think this is stunning. This is the leopard here. And the Queen of Winter, the Queen of Swords as the leopard here, is somebody who you're being supported, because this leopard is relaxed, incredibly amazing at what they do. They're chilled. And so I do apologize. So, and as it says on this card, all of your life experiences, I'm guided to read this card, all of your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. and you got the purpose card here. It's time to declutter your home, clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. And so we have here that 8 of Swords, and we also have the 8 of Cups. Both of these cards, if you can see, are 8 of Cups is, as you know, a card of walking away. And the 8 of Winter here, the 8 of Swords, it's about freedom again for you. So I feel very strongly for you at this time that this is your purpose. This is your authentic purpose about making choices that's right for you. Coming back to that caged bird, sometimes we feel that we are trapped, even though we're not actually trapped. And Spirit wants you to trust that, first of all, that there are those around you that are helping you at this time. This is with your life purpose, but also to understand that you are entrapped in a space of fear at the moment about either about somebody or something in, well, whatever it is in your life, my darling, it is causing you to almost be trapped or in that tiny space of almost disbelief about yourself. And so Spirit is asking you to extend, to push past those boundaries of belief about yourself, and that the more you do things for you, the more you will grow within yourself, the more you will grow within your self-confidence as well. It may mean, my darling, walking away from something. And I feel very strongly with this is all part of the freedom for you choosing what is right for you. It may mean walking away from something. The kangaroo takes great big leaps and bounds, doesn't it? It doesn't necessarily look sometimes the most beautiful thing, but they are amazing at doing what they do. But Spirit is saying it's time for you to move on. And this is what Spirit's support is for you at this time, because there is a purpose for you. And that purpose, that peaceful warrior moving forward, can't start its journey until you've moved out of the space that you're living in at this time. You know, the kangaroo lives in the outback, and you know, the outback is the great unknown. It's a lot of it's, you know, unexplored, uncharted territory, but it's there. The great unknown is waiting for you. And I feel, you know, with the 8 of Cups, generally it's something that has served its life purpose for you. And what happens is that when we live in an energetic structure and it has served its purpose, it starts to dismantle. And when we try and hold on to it, we're just causing ourselves more and more and more stress and unhappiness, and anger and fear and all of those negative emotions. But when we let go to see what expanded structure we're moving into, because if that lesson has been learned, that experience has come in for a reason for you, and you have succeeded at that, then it is removed. It is just dissolved in your life because there is a new expanded structure coming in. So do look at what is drawing you at this time, what is making you happy, what you want more of in your life, and move towards that. And you know, you and only you, remember, my darling, are in control of you. Nobody else is. You and only you can choose how to reaction, or respond, taking responsibility for yourself to make choices that are authentic for you. I'm going to pull one last card for you for all of this. Thank you. But you're ready, and it's like, I go back to this freedom of this horse coming out of seeing the wood for the trees. I don't know if it's an expression in America, but in the UK, seeing the wood for the trees is suddenly understanding the big picture of it all, because you're not caught up in it so much. So I say the horse, the unicorn, and it's very similar to this horse is on this, you know, coming through the doorway. This bird here is standing on the doorway. You've already done so much for yourself. You're standing, you're perched, ready to make that leap of faith, to fly, because you do have wings to fly. these birds sitting on this branch aren't afraid of the branch breaking, because they have wings that fly. And God, the universe, wants you to take that next step, that last choice step that you haven't done just yet, because that door is open. This opportunity, this portal, this gate, this door is open for you, and you are being supported, my darling. So let's do one last card for you. And chill out about it. They're saying, chillax, chill out. Don't worry so much. Take a chill pill. The Queen of Winter. And thank you, Spirit. They've reminded me. And it says here on this card, self-sufficient, which is certainly something that's jumping out at me. Brilliant and funny and experienced. The Queen of Winter, the Queen of Swords, she's a bit of a badass, because she is somebody who does speak her truth, who does want to live life authentically, who does want to do the right thing, who does want to not be afraid to express how she or he feels, and only receives into her space those that are of the same ilk. And so as this Queen of Swords, you are more than equipped to take this leap. You are, and you have, you know this and you feel this, there is an intensity to what you are looking to do at this time. And I just want you to show you the face here, but go with ease, go with the flow of it, make the choice that's right for you, and then see what comes forward to you. So one last card, please, Spirit. Thank you for this reading. And then I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to try and get it in under 45. I can do that. Thank you, Spirit. Well, perfect ending. I'm not going to go on too much about this, but you've got the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck there. That is that sudden, wonderful, unexpected change, shift, whatever it is in your life. Big card for you there. So, and pears they come into season earlier than apples. So this was going to happen earlier than you might expect once you make that choice, my darling. And look what you've got. It's just jumped into my card and jumped into my hands, the Star card. A promise of things being better, a promise of that great big shift and change in your life, a promise that as you let things go that you've been carrying for so long, letting emotions, energy, emotion, just leave, just release it, because it's just too much weight for you to carry. Whatever this means for you with the responsibilities or things that you feel that you have, burdens that you carry within the space of taking a leap forward in your life. What does it say here? You're about to take a big leap forward with your life. Worry will be replaced with optimism, fear with hope, and joy is coming home to roost. Beautiful, beautiful card for you, my darling, the Star card, that wonderful card of deep inner healing. And it's because you have made a choice, whether you are consciously aware of it or not, that this is what you intend for yourself. You are wanting this, and you are propelling yourself. You are flying forward. You've already made those steps necessary. And now it's within your physical shoots, within your identity and personality that's catching up with your soul, that you're being asked now to make those physical steps forward now. But on a soul level, it's done. You've already made the choices. So, my darling, I hope that helps all of you who've come to listen to this landscape reading. And I trust that you are manifesting beautifully. And I look forward to doing another daily reading for you tomorrow, along with my star sign readings. But I will catch up with you again tomorrow. So much love to you all. Take care, my darlings. Bye-bye.